If you're on your natural hair journey and you're just like, yo, how do I start? Or like, how much is it gonna cost me to start? It's gonna cost you nothing. It's gonna cost $0, okay? When they say she get it from her mama. Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Tasha, and if you're new here, welcome. I am Tasha. Also, if you're new here, I would suggest that you go after this video though and check out my other content so you can familiarize yourself with me and the channel. Today I actually wanted to share with you guys some natural hair tips, but these are not just any natural hair tips, because I feel like when people think about natural hair and their natural hair journey, they think that it costs so much money. When you are starting your natural hair journey, it costs $0. It should not really even cost you anything. There's probably things that you're not even doing that don't even cost you any money. Hair growth is very cheap for somebody to maintain. At least it was for me for the longest time. If anything, I just had to do things so that my hair can retain length, have moisture, because I would have the issue where my hair wouldn't be moisturized enough. I have that hair that doesn't absorb moisture well. So those are the things that would cost me money to make sure that I buy the right products so that my hair can absorb things like moisture. I just wanted to share with you guys 10 tips that have worked for me growing up, that I've seen like even my mom do, that didn't cost anything. It didn't cost anything for her to start my natural hair journey, and it was just something that came regularly. If you're on your natural hair journey and you're just like, yo, how do I start? Or like, how much is it gonna cost me to start? It's gonna cost you nothing. It's gonna cost $0, okay? Growing up, I had like 2 things that helped me grow my hair. And then as I got older, there were other things that I did to my hair that didn't cost me any money. And I was able to retain my length and grow long hair. Now, my hair does need a trim right now, but that is besides the point. It's still growing long out of my scalp, and it can cost you so little money to actually really grow and retain long natural hair. Why? Because Tasha said so. Because I said so. I said so. So my first tip would be to finger detangle your hair. Your hands. Your fingers, they're on your hands, okay? Your hands are free. I also just used a pick to detangle my hair. But when I did my curly hair routine, I did not detangle anything. I just left it. I don't like to start messing with my hair when I don't have to. The less I can do to it when it comes to heat and detangling and styling, just the better for me, my hair and my scalp. So you don't even need a pick. I actually started using a pick recently to detangle, not even detangle my hair, just do stuff like this, just to lift it out of my scalp a bit from me messing it up. The best thing you could do is to just detangle your hair with your hands. That way you're not ripping out your hair, especially if you're not doing a good job to treat it well. The best thing for you to do until you learn the right products for your hair and you come down with a routine that actually works, finger detangling would work best. Less ripping, less damaging, and just less manipulation to your hair. The next thing you want to do is to use cold water to rinse your hair when you are shampooing and conditioning your hair. This one I could honestly say is one of the harder things for me, because I normally wash my hair when I take a shower. If I'm using hot water, then typically I'm using hot water to rinse out my hair. But these days I want to literally practice what I preach and follow my own rules, and I've actually noticed a difference, especially when I'm conditioning my hair and rinsing out the conditioner. I turn the water to the cooler side. It retains moisture and it actually helps with frizz. But I adjust the temperature where my body's actually okay with it, because I'm not the type of girl who I actually wash my hair separately from when I am showering. Another tip would be to protect your hair at night. You guys, I wasn't protecting my hair for years at night. I was still able to grow my natural hair because I was doing other things. Recently, for the past, I want to say like 3 months, I've been, or maybe even more, I've been using like a silk scarf to wrap my hair at night. You can also use a silk pillowcase. And I say this is free because most of us have these products in our house already. If you don't have any of those things, then what you could at least do is put your hair in a pineapple. That way your hair is not just let out loose and just left there to just have all of the moisture sucked out of it. Put it up in a high ponytail like a pineapple and just let it retain moisture altogether and not just let it out loose, you're still doing some form of protection. You're going to want to do some scalp massages as well. Now this to me is pretty easy. If you're the type of person to sit there and even watch shows at nighttime, this is something easy that you could do before bed. I actually do this with castor oil, but you can do it without oils, but it's just became a natural habit for me to put castor oil on my hands, and I use the Jamaican black castor oil for this, and I usually put them on my fingertips and I massage my scalp. I noticed that I be losing a little bit of hair here. It actually came back a lot. I was actually a little bit more bald than this. I actually even massage up here a lot, but massaging your scalp can actually help with circulation. Just doing that stuff ahead of time just to prevent certain things can be very helpful. Massaging your scalp can actually promote hair growth and just help the hair grow out of your scalp better. Another tip, it kind of contradicts the other tip, but then again it kind of doesn't, would be to do DIY treatments in the shower. I would normally wash my hair once a week, so this is something that you would do when it's not wash day. You can wear a plastic wrap on your hair, and you see when you're showering, the steam from the shower now will be penetrating. It will help your hair retain moisture. I've actually used my face steamer to steam my hair, and I saw a big difference in my hair. I actually want to do it again real soon. I haven't done it in probably like a month. What did I use it in? I think I steamed it after I washed and conditioned it. I don't think it was after. The way I be forgetting these things. And it made a big difference for my hair. You can also do this when you're washing your hair. So when you're shampooing and conditioning, you can put the conditioner in and then put the wrap on your head. You could just do a whole deep conditioning treatment, because when you put conditioner in your hair, if you do something like that, it actually does help out your hair like tremendously. If you want to see an updated hair washing routine, or I show you the products that I use, just let me know in the comments and I will get that out for you guys. Another tip, which is actually so important, and I have to do that next week, because I said after this curly hair routine I was going to straighten my hair just so that I can do this, and that is to trim my hair. It's not easy for me to trim my hair when it's curly because I'm not a professional, so it's just easier for me to see where I need to trim when I do straighten it. Trimming your hair and making sure that you keep it up when needed, it all depends on your hair. It all depends on the things that you do to your hair. With me, I like to trim my hair every 4 to 6 months, and if I do it every 6 months, I make sure I trim in between, because trimming your hair is one of the best ways, if not the best way, to retain length, because you're not retaining length when you're always manipulating it and styling it and not trimming it, because when you get split ends, they travel up and up and up and up, and the more they travel up, that's when you go get a trim from somebody and you're like, oh, we have to cut off so much hair. In my last video, I was showing you guys TikToks where there was hair cutting, because I watch a lot of hair cutting videos and I want to do another video like that. And it was like, a lot of people would say like the hairdresser cut off so much hair. They're not actually cutting off a lot of hair. It's because the person just never came in for a trim. They just kept manipulating their hair, and now the split ends are just traveling up the hair shaft, and then it resulted in them having to cut off a lot of split ends and dead hair and damaged hair. Just always making sure to keep up with your hair trims will prevent you from losing a lot of hair, and it will help you retain your length. You're going to want to also let your hair air dry. For the past year, I haven't used any heat in my hair, and I barely use a blow dryer or diffuse my hair, and I'm actually so very proud of myself, because I was the type of girl, if I straighten my hair today, I'm touching it up tomorrow, and then I'm gonna straighten it again the next day after that. I just did not care, and I wasn't using heat protectant. I remember last year I was like, let me just stay away from heat. But at the time, I didn't even have a curly hair routine that I was comfortable with, or one that I was like, you know what, I can actually do this and just wash my hair every week. But the same day I wanted to straighten my hair, I figured out even this simple curly hair routine, and it actually helped me not to put heat in my hair. It's been about a year since I put any heat in my hair. I did not diffuse my hair. I probably diffused my hair once or twice, and I've actually noticed a big difference in my hair. So just letting your hair air dry, even if it's not a year like me, even if you try like a month, just to see if you're a person who constantly uses heat and you're a person who constantly washes your hair all the time. Sometimes less is more. My next tip, or I think this is like the 9th tip, I hope it's I'm pretty sure it's 10 tips I'm giving you guys, and I'm not even keeping track. You're going to want to do styles that have less manipulation to your hair. Recently I did a short where I showed you guys where I just literally used bobby pins to style my hair. I didn't do anything to pull on my hair, so I didn't use any hair ties. I didn't use extra products to just keep certain chemicals on my hair. I just did the simplest thing to have less manipulation on my hair, and it gives your hair a break, especially if you have thinner hair. My hair, sometimes it looks like I have big hair, but at the same time I have thin hair. The less you can do, the better. So just hairstyles where you're not pulling on your hair too much, not doing braiding styles like with extensions, but actually doing braiding styles with your own hair, or doing twist outs, just things like that to retain moisture, retain length, and just help your hair to just stay healthy and not rip out. My next tip, which is it should be my 10th tip, guys, is to be consistent with all of this. I know sometimes we like to start things and we don't finish, and then you just don't see the results that you should see. It's like if you go to the gym, you start your gym membership in January, you go for the month of January, but then February comes and you only went like 5 times. If you just continue that same path, January, February, March, April, you would have seen a big difference. Same thing when it comes to things like your hair. If you stay consistent with just doing these simple things, and these are 10 tips where they are absolutely, for the most part, free. You're not really spending any money on it. I mean, like if you don't have like a silk scarf and you don't even have a silk pillowcase, you most likely have a scrunchie or a hair tie. I'm just trying to say, like, these are things that you didn't actually have to go out there and buy and spend any money. If you just stay consistent with things, it becomes just a healthy habit. It becomes a natural habit. These things became natural to me because these are things that my mom did to my hair when I was a little girl. Also, I've always been a person to budget. I never had like a whole lot of money where I can just buy out a whole bunch of products and just experiment with my hair. No, I had a very low budget to deal with. It was just a natural thing where I did just the bare minimum to grow my hair. So when people would ask me about my hair all the time, I'll just be like, I really didn't do anything. And I felt like I was a liar because it's like, what do you mean you didn't do anything to your hair? No, I didn't do anything. And if you made it to the end of this video, I actually want to share with you another very important tip that I know it can help you with your hair and just with your overall self, and that is to even change your diet. Like, I've changed my diet recently. I actually watch what I eat, especially I watch what I drink. So I consume less sugars and I drink a lot more water. The only downside of drinking a lot of water is that, yeah, you have to use the washroom a lot, but I have a cutoff point, like at least by 7 o'clock I don't drink as much water so that I'm not peeing all night. Drinking a lot of water actually helps with your hair and your skin. I'm somebody who has really bad eczema, so I noticed that when I change certain things like my diet and my fruit and vegetable intake and just watch the amount of water, making sure I drink enough of it, I see a difference in my hair and my skin. You have to start from within sometimes. Like, it's a mindset and it's also what you're putting in your body. Drink your water, eat your vegetables, have your fruit, cut out sugar, stay away from like pop. Buy a nice water bottle. It can actually encourage you to drink a lot of water. I go to Winners and Marshalls and HomeSense and just buy nice drinking utensils just so that I want to drink out of it. So do what you gotta do to even do little things like that. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful and that you just know that if you're on your natural hair journey and you're somebody like me who just either you don't got some money to spend or you just don't want to spend so much money on things like your hair, it actually could be done for free when you're starting out. You don't have to spend so much money to grow long natural hair or to retain your length. This is simple things that actually matter, that actually work. And once you start the simple things, then you can start incorporating products when you start to understand your hair a little bit better. That's the end of my video, guys. Until the next one.